I have been a little out of touch just because things have been a little busy. So I was like, what? What got released?
Until just a few minutes ago.
You had no idea there was a Supergirl movie coming out?
Yeah, right. Well, I'd seen somebody posted a still shot of David Cornsweet on this. I guess it's Atlanta, actually, where they're filming, in his suit on the streets of Atlanta. And that's all I'd seen. I did that Twitter search. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the movie. He just wanders around in the suit now.
Did you look at all that stuff? I know you didn't.
I didn't see those shots. I haven't seen simply because X was like, "Do you want to sign in with the Doidle?" And I said, "No."
I'll just describe what I saw really briefly. There's not a whole lot.
Bring it to life.
There's a shot of him. Apparently, it looks like they're filming something where he's in a street intersection and he's trying to prevent something from crushing the cars. He's like kind of doing this. There's a blue bar and he's kind of pushing up on it and also hanging from wires. You know,
famously, I think Brainiac does a lot with blue bars. So I think,
yeah,
just do.
That's got to be. And there's also a really interesting shot, which is a stunt test. They're like, it's a rehearsal for stunt people. So they're not wearing their costumes. They're just in jeans and t-shirts and stuff. But on the set, there's like a hole has been punched through a brick wall on a street, and there's a bunch of people crowded around somebody on the ground, and they're like punching somebody on the ground, and then all of a sudden they go boom, they all fly off because they're all tied to gimbals or whatever. They get pulled off. It's really cool. It's all practical.
Superman possibly
could be, yeah, it could be any one of the superpowered people,
and then drones or some kind of baddies are beating on him, and then he goes, I've had enough of that, thank you.
Yeah. Who knows who it is?
Again, I'm predicting dialogue, but I'm pretty sure he will say, I've had enough of that, thank you.
There's a lot of really, really great shots. You can pretty much clearly see David's wearing the same suit that he has in the first movie. A lot of people are speculating, are they going to change it? It's like, no, they don't need to change it.
They don't need to change it. And I love all the, when they did the Supergirl suit bits, which have been sprinkled in, along with also him going like, hi, it's just like, man, this is perfect.
That's the thing I'm most excited about.
I know. And he's, though you realize, tiny little thing in there, but I just love the whole like, hey, I guess we're cousins, I can't wait for that. But the whole thing with him going like, yeah, it's a little colorful. He goes, it's probably more colorful than you used to. But this is so people know we're good.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
I love
it's so cheesy, and it's just what I want in my life.
Yes, it's so great. I love too that it's a line of dialogue that's dubbed over a different unrelated scene, I think. But he says, so your power should be kicking in right about now.
Now, yeah. So we will probably get a little bit of that training stuff. Here's something that just really occurred to me, and I know that it's such an Easter eggy nerd thing. I assume we're probably never gonna have flashbacks to young Clark. Like, again, they've moved ahead. They're like, we all know his story. Okay, fine. Which means we're not gonna get to see him go, whoa, I'm flying. We have seen that a lot. But one little thing that's pretty famous and has been called back in a lot of different Superman comics and covers, and it goes all the way back to the 40s, is the classic Superman's in midair and he's getting hit by lightning and he just goes, it tickles. Literally just like a word balloon. It's not part of the plot of anything. It's just like, wow, he's getting hit by lightning, and he's just like going, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, it would be so freaking awesome if like it gets reproduced live. I mean, it would be great. Even if it's Supergirl, even if she's like, no, you're pretty tough. And she got hit by lightning. It tickles. You're like, yeah, get it. Yeah, it's cool. I would love that. Again, that's me fan.
And a little update on my little nerd journey with speculating about the shape of Kara's escape ship.
Yes.
It pretty much clearly, as we can see in that shot where she's meeting Superman for the first time.
Yeah, it's very.
She's looking up at him. You can see that she's in it's almost like an eggshell. She's in the bottom half, and looks like he's just flipped off the top. And it's rolling back.
You do see movement of it in one of those TV spots.
Yeah, because it looks like it's just hit the ground and it's rolling the top of it behind her.
Yeah.
So It's pretty
It
cool.
is weird where she, and I'm sure they did it on purpose, the whole thing of her just like holding on to crypto for the whole journey. And then she's wearing that thing. It's just like she's a newly delivered baby, which I think is kind of what they're going for, because she's kind of just like, what the hell is this going on here? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's me doing the voice. What's going on here?
So what's kind of interesting about, I don't know, just a little bit of speculation about this, the context of this scene. I'm predicting that Superman knows who she is already when she's landed.
So. I think
because it seems like he already has her suit prepared for her. Like he's like, I've got something for you here.
I'm not sure if that's that immediate. Maybe. But I definitely think when he's like, hi, that's definitely, though probably any kind of like space immigrant that crashes somewhere, Superman would probably be equally like, hey, how you doing? Are you all right? You know, that kind of thing first. But I think maybe he'll have heard like a message coming in. Maybe it even has his family name worked in. He's like going, oh shit, a relative?
Yeah.
Again, that's dialogue straight.
Maybe the Fortress scanners picked up, there's something Kryptonian entering the solar system or something. So he intercepts her when she lands.
Does it open in like 20 minutes? Is that when the movie comes out? Because I just want to see it.
Though. It is this month.
It is this month.
We are in the month.
The problem with me is, look, we are nerds, both of us, but we also have lives. And the thing that's tricky is me sitting there going like, I'm very excited, but right now I have a show in like a week. And so, or a little bit more than a week. And so I'm just absorbed with, I got to get stuff ready for the show. And I want to be free of that as much as I love my show, because I want to just be like going, oh, Supergirl's about to open. Well, and I won't say it like that, but that's when I want to be excited for Supergirl, and I just need to get past. There's always a thing of like, get past the stress and then enjoy. And I'm looking forward to it like you can't believe.
Yeah.
The spots. We're just picking up on little things. You remember when Superman's coming out and we're like, oh my God, they were actually using the John Williams score, but they've got that cool like electric guitar adaptation of it. And I'm like, oh dude, that's great. Something that keeps hitting me in the trailer is, he's still doing his needle drops, the call me thing. Blondie got it. Yep. But what is really effective, and I was like, they've done a little bit of a remix of What Becomes of the Brokenhearted, which we hear the actual song in one of the trailers, but every time you hear the in the back, I'm like, they've remixed it and turned it into kind of like this chanting, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Like I've got issues a little bit with James Gunn's leaning on needle drops, because it seems like, can he do a movie where he doesn't do a single one? I'm not sure. But he chooses well, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, man.
This is one he didn't write or direct. Keep in mind, I know he's producing it, so it's in his milieu. Obviously, you can tell. Whatever that word is.
I'm sorry. He's what? He's me.
And the rest of the shots, there's a lot of stuff on those teasers I hadn't seen before.
They're dropping stuff in.
Apart from the stuff with David Cornsweet, it's mostly just some really cool action shots we haven't seen. Extra. Oh, it looks great.
They also have the bit with an alien group that is not Ruthie's people or Krem's people, but they're like the brigands. They're destroying everywhere they go. They bring destruction, and we need to defend the universe. And these are like blue skin, not Guardians, guys. Not all blue skinned people are Guardians, but they're like, we need to defend. And she goes, well, let's get going, or let's get started, is like the cuts to Kara. One thing in one of those trailers, there's a half second, because it may not actually be her response to those people, because she goes, let's get started, and then her eyes actually go red.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them, they cut it where she just goes, let's get started. And one of them, she goes, let's get started. And there's a half second where her eyes go, I'm like, oh, maybe she's about to kick ass in that scene, and it has nothing to do with the blue people.
Yeah.
Again, that's the trick, is you're watching these trailers and they're like, they've chopped things together very well, but you're like, oh, where does that go? Where does that go? Who's talking to who there?
There is something, speaking of, because there were a lot of weird edits like that in the first Superman trailers we saw, where like some of Lex's dialogue was cut from multiple different scenes. We learned later. There's something weird with the way when Superman says, I don't know, it's really colorful, but it's just so people know we're good. There's this weird. It sounds like it's stitched together from maybe the conversation goes on longer. I mean, who knows? But yeah, he's clearly. I think you're right that it is later, because when she first shows up, she doesn't speak English yet. We've been told that already by the director. So, and he's speaking English there clearly. So maybe that is later. You're right. So maybe the suit comes later.
I'm sure he wouldn't just go, "Hi, welcome to the planet. Now here's the dress code."
Yeah, right.
You're Kryptonian. You have to wear this. Sorry, them's the rules.
Yeah.
What about the dog? He gets a cape, which is true. The character posters are all very cool. They're all very good. Lobo. I mean, what's interesting to me always is even when you've got an iconic design, and Lobo was set up to be a parody character, so it's like 90s grunge and stuff. But even when you have an iconic design, movie folks, makeup and costume, they can't help themselves but like overcomplicate it, which I think they're trying to make it look more lived in or real. Because if you just had a guy painted white walking around and like the shock of hair and the Kiss makeup, they'd be like, yeah. So like they've added those like weird tribal stripes down his arms, and you're like, what's that about? But still, it looks amazing. He's got the huge skull belt buckle. He just stepped right out of the comic. You're like, damn. And then you got little Crypto. You got little baby Crypto. That's adorable. Right. Really? Ruthie looks badass. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Just reminded me, there was one shot of that I hadn't seen before in one of these teasers of Lobo, and looks like he's holding grenades or something. He's kind of dangling him, going, like this grin on his face. Like, it looks so great. I can't wait to see this movie, man.
I can't wait to see this movie. And again, I had some folks on one of my ghost tours just a couple days ago, and I'm walking around proudly with my fan provided Prodigious Saps water bottle on tour. And I did actually say, this is the podcast I do where we talk about nerdy stuff. I'd already said I was a comic fan. And someone's like going, oh yeah, you excited about that Supergirl? I was like, yes, I am. And they're like going, oh, I'm more of a Marvel guy. And I said, I'm bi. I was like, I don't think you have to love one or not the other. I go both ways. And they were being snarky. And I said, last thing I'm going to say, and we'll put this to rest, was like, without DC, there would be no Marvel. Mm-hmm. Superman's the first. He's the best.
That's right.
I'm sorry about if you have problems with that. Yeah. And I said it in a jokey way. They knew I was just kind of playing around. But yeah.
We'll follow that in the get used to it person category.
Yeah, it's in the get used to it. I'm totally bi. I'm DC and Marvel. The whole thing is that let's keep talking Superman, but I also want to bring up, because I didn't know this happened, but the Avengers Doomsday special event that happened apparently today. Which, no, it's not mind-blowing. A lot of people were disappointed by it, but we'll talk about it. I read
another one of those.
It's a cute idea, but I think, again, anytime the Russo brothers are going, there's a special surprise, everyone's like going, it's going to be the trailer. It's going to be the trailer. And then, nope.
And then it's like director's chairs.
Yes. Like or a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Which is what this was. Yeah. Oh, well, gosh. Again, we'll talk about it in a second. Anyway, so Supergirl looks amazing. And those little bits just tease it even more. Man of Tomorrow is filming, like you said. And, the reveal of the Lex Battlesuit. Damn, man. The fact that it's fully practical is nuts, because I'm like, where do his arms and legs go in that thing? How does he bend knees?
I mean, he seems really excited about it. He says, he's actually surprisingly mobile in it. He said something like that.
I'm sure that's similar to like the armatures they've created for physical performers that are going to get, mocapped or whatever. But I'm sure there's a lot of like extenders, that kind of thing. And he's probably walking on those like little stilty type deals or something. but it looks badass, and I love the bubble helmet, which is very kind of retro-y, but I love the fact he's got that. Chad's eyes are going. That's bad.
So I was trying to find.
I'm just looking at you like going, what is
I want to make sure I get the quote right. He says, somebody asks him, can Nicholas actually move around in that? Wow, it looks so cool. I also appreciate the detail of the fishbowl, the helmet thing.
Yeah.
It never really fully made sense to me in the comics that he had the power suit with his head completely exposed, considering how Luthor's superpower is, well, his brain. And James replies and says, he can move incredibly well. It's unbelievably mobile. Mobile. And in the movie version, he's added unbreakable Lexiglass trademark.
Well, I will say in the comics, it's not always empty. In the comics, he's actually had like a force bubble helmet that pops up in the suit. I like that it's become, that's a thing where, it's become iconic. People who know the character like expect to see him at some point in the battle suit. But the thing is, I'm still, I grew up as a kid in the 70s, as we both did, and we remember him with like the crisscross bandoliers and the little rockets on the side of his belt, where he was just in like a cool 70s Lycra suit with a big collar and the bandoliers. I'm like, we're never going to get that. And I'm okay with that because, that's very 70s, but we don't need that. Right. So the battle suit's a very 80s thing, but it looks great. And of course, in the comics, they eventually were like going, that was because they created Kryptonian battle suits later on. They were like that. And they're like, oh, wow, Lex actually stole Kryptonian design ideas. Lex is not a proud genius. It's like, he's like, oh, good tech. I will take. That's very on point. But anyway, it looks great. Nicholas Hoult and our buddy David Cornsweet fighting Brainiac. I'm just there.
He's just there.
I am just there. Folks, if I have to sell my... if I have to sell...
He's going to tell. He's going to tell.
He's going to tell. He's going to tell. Oh, my God. Don't bring that up. Because it's so great. I was about to say, if I have to prostitute myself in order to, have the money to go see these movies this summer, gonna do it. Plus,
as you do.
Plus, you think I only live off ghost stores? Mm-mm.
Yeah. You are sadly mistaken, monsieur.
Hey, honey, you want a date? You want a date with a comic nerd? Oh, baby. I'll talk to you about Legion of Superheroes all night long. All night long. You want to talk about the champions from the 70s? It's going to be a short conversation, but I'll talk to you all night long about it. Hercules, Iceman, Angel, Black Widow, and Ghost Rider. What do they have in common? Nothing. Oh, one of the greatest weird super teams of all time, the champions.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So is there anything else, DC, we want to say before we get into the rest of our docket for today? We have a very diverse selection of topics.
No, I don't think there have been any other The Batman Part 2 teases. I don't believe there have. If there are, I've missed them. No more Clayface, but again, that teaser, news. That's good. I'm sated. Someone did say, James, I'm very excited for Supergirl. I saw this. Someone tweeted it. James Gunn was like, very excited for that. Is like, but and Clayface, but there's going to be a whole big gap. What comes? He goes, well, I mean, Creature Commando season 2 is. I like what James is like going. You make it seem like we're just sitting around. He goes, we got a whole new season of that thing coming. I'm like, very good.
Apparently he's not writing that second season because he's so busy, I guess.
I think that's it. Yeah. It's clearly not love, lack of love. That guy, I mean, he's the only reason there was a Creature Commandos zip period. Because it's like, he's like, oh, I'm in charge of DC. Boom, boom, boom. He is the nerd in charge of the candy store. Just like I would have shown up going like, okay, Golden Age Vigilante gets his movie before anybody else. And then we're going to go on and we're going to, I'd just be pulling stuff like Blue Devil. Finally, Blue Devil coming to screens. Everyone, has their nerd favorites. Okay. So I guess that's it for DC. But do you want to hear about what happened today? the tragedy that happened. No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
This was in Suffolk, I think, England, or somewhere in London. And the Russo brothers had basically like a countdown timer, big surprise. It's going to be at this location in London. And yes, people showed up, obviously not knowing what it is. And there was a weird logo design. They're like, what's that? So it turns out that it was a pop-up coffee shop, not a trailer. And the pop-up coffee shop was supporting a Dr. Doom blend of coffee called, I know, but it's called like Dom Latveria, and maybe DOM. That's how they're going to do the thing of like a guy's name wasn't really Von Doom. It was Von Dom. And they're like, you know what? People are going to call him Von Doom. It's like, maybe that's it. But it's in English and then also in Latvian. They've created a Latvian language. I know that you love that stuff. They had coffee drinks that were Easter eggs to Dr. Doom history, which is pretty cool, like Cynthia's blend, so named after his mom. They had something like Doomsdat. They're mentioning that's the capital of Latveria. One was a reference to the original ruling party that he overthrew. So it's all these Dr. Doom history Easter eggs, and everyone that showed up got a Latvian flag. So there's a official Latvian flag. Yeah. Which is essentially the same colors as the one we saw in Fantastic Four for Steps, but added to it, because it's like got this cross design, and added to it that's that weird emblem they saw. Doom has kind of like a sort of symbolic emblem. So that's on the flag.
So is the flag from the comics at all?
I mean, they've had Latvian flags at various points, but I don't think there's ever been a unified, this is definitely what the flag is supposed to be. I think it's up to the artist. So I think this is their official MCU Latvian flag.
Well, here's a real question, though.
I'm ready.
Was the coffee any good?
Actually, of all the things I read, I didn't read if the coffee was actually good. The Russo brothers were there, and I mean, you could buy the coffee drinks, but they were selling the bags, and the Russo brothers were signing the bags of coffee. So some people walked away with like signed, but it's all the thing of like the opinions were mixed because people were just disappointed, even if it's clever marketing. And one of the things that's really cool is up on the board of the coffee shop where you had the drinks listed and all that. It just also said Richards was wrong. I love it. That's a very Doom thing, is like Richards was wrong. And people are going, that could be some kind of clue to like plot stuff. I'm like, yeah. And it could also be Dr. Doom. Right. I think the subtitle of the coffee was a Dom Latvian blend or whatever, and it said something at the bottom like the best coffee for world domination, and it was like made by my servants or something for the. It's like all this Doom type stuff. It's clever. But yes, people are going like, nice marketing, guys, but maybe coffee and the flag is not what we were looking for. I don't envy them. I mean, the thing is that is clever. People are just more excited. Like we need something. Come on, we need a little something. It's been a while since we saw, Steve Rogers will return in and Black Panther will return in. It's like, give us more.
So I watched a little bit of, I didn't finish watching the episode, but I did start watching SPIDER-NOIR.
Oh, I want to ask,
the first episode.
Were you able to watch it? Did you choose color or black and white?
Black and white. I don't understand. I mean, I think I know why they did that. It was probably studio pressure.
I think it's studio pressure. Yeah. But the thing was, that actually did impact my enjoyment. I'm glad you were able to easily do it. Oh. But maybe because I'm on Fire TV or whatever.
Oh, no.
A lot of different people, you had the but you couldn't click it. There was not a way to click it. And you only get that 10 seconds at the opening.
No.
I spent 40 minutes trying to watch it in black and white on my Fire TV. And then I read someone on Reddit. A lot of people going like, did they do this on purpose? It's like, we all want to see it in black and white. And a lot of people go, we can't do it. Then someone said, do you have a PS5, which I do. They're like, and I never use my PS5 to watch media. I use it to play games. But they're like going, just go to there and watch it on your PS5 and PS5 on your controller. And I went, oh my God, I can choose black and white. So I saw the first minute of that thing in color about 18 times while I was trying to get, and it was in colors like, a fellow once asked me, what universe are you from? I'm like, shut up, Nicolas Cage, shut up. And then eventually I got on there black and white, which is the only way to watch it. Way to watch it.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. They've done a fantastic job with it.
Clearly they designed it to be shot in black and white. That is the lighting, all that stuff. What I saw of the color, I'm like, they've also done a good job with the color. It looks like they tried to make it seem like 50s or 60s Technicolor. I'm like, that's cute. But no, that's not the way to watch this damn show.
No, I switched over just briefly because I was just curious to see, well, because you can have color noir. Obviously, Blade Runner was color noir. Yeah. But I clicked over one scene. I was like, ugh. I put it back black and white. It was so much better.
And no offense, I like the fact that they're leaning into, because it's Spider-Noir in the comics when he is introduced, it is an alternate universe, but they didn't do anything with him being an older version. It's young detective Ben Reilly. So the show is basically just letting the character be Nicolas Cage's age. Like, he gave up being the Spider, and it's years later. I'm like, that's nice, because it's not like we got to digitally de-age the guy. In fact, there's a couple of scenes of flashbacks with his Ruby, his wife, and you're like going, oh, Nicolas Cage, man. But when you see him in the present day of Spider-Noir, you're like, that's great. They're just letting him be older Spider-Man. Which is great.
And again, the cinematography in this is just so
gorgeous.
It's just delicious to
and
look
I will
at.
say some of the CG is hinky, but at the same time, it's all of a piece. Like some of the CG swinging, you're like, wow, that's like video game kind of looking, but it doesn't take me out.
Yeah. One
thing that's always because John commented about the lanterns, because he saw our lanterns episode. He's like going, hey man, I was really surprised to hear you going like, they're going to alter things, they're going to change things, and you got to go with it. And I was like, well, it might still be bad, but yeah, absolutely. He's like, that's good. You're growing, that kind of thing. But the thing is, for me, there's an alternate universe that I do understand about when you're adapting anything. And Spider-Noir, I can sit there going like, oh, there wasn't an MJ, but there was a Ruby. Okay. And it's like, oh, so Felicia Hardy is Kat Hardy, and she's an Asian woman who is like a Chanteuse. Okay. And Flint Marko, Sandman, works for her. Right. Okay. And it's not Peter Parker, it's Ben Reilly. Oh, okay. And the thing is it's all great. It's still Spider-Man. And I will say the Spider-Verse movies did a great job. They're just great. Full stop. But they did a great job of letting the vast, movie-going public get on board this idea of there's not a Spider-Man. There are multiple universes where you can have various versions. And it didn't throw the audiences, because they just loved them. The movies were great. They like having Peter B. Parker, walking around in his house coat, constantly in the robe and stuff. And they're equally fine with Spider-Noir and Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. Right. And I love that you can sit there going like, we're probably never going to get a Superman movie where it's David Cornsweet hanging out with various other Supermen. But in The Flash, they did have Grant Gustin show up, and he's like, oh, how you doing there, problematic actor?
Yeah. Well, I was in the show. What's his name? The problematic actor showed up as a.
That was in the show?
That was on the show, yeah.
I thought that was in the Flash movie as well. Grant Gustin didn't show up in that?
I don't think so. Everybody else did. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. But and we don't have to think about it anymore, because that is another universe.
No, we don't.
There were parts of it I liked. Yeah. Specifically, Mr. Keaton. Anyway,
people have asked us to do a review of The Flash. So we'll get to it eventually, I think.
I wouldn't.
Any DC movie is fair game.
I wouldn't balk at watching it again. It was okay, and there were parts I liked, but it
It just had it strange fates befell that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't anybody, one person's fault. There's
Speaking
just a
of
lot
strange
of
fate,
crap.
did you ever read the Amalgam books? I think I've brought that up before.
Amalgam.
When
Maybe?
DC and Marvel became one company.
Oh yeah. You might. I haven't read them, but I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters was Doctor Strange Fate, where it was the combination of Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate, and essentially, kind of just Doctor Fate with the helmet, but with the Doctor Strange cloak. It's essentially what he looked like. But it was like, damn, that's a great idea, Doctor Strange Fate. It's awesome.
Was there a composite Superman?
Superman was Super Soldier, and that was Superman with Captain America. Yeah, and that made sense.
Okay.
I mean, you're like, of course, yeah, absolutely.
So can I get back to Spider-Noir for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think is Nicolas Cage doing like a Jimmy Stewart thing, or is that just how he sounds now?
No. It's not a Jimmy Stewart thing. He's doing a bogey.
Oh, okay. Because it really did sound like.
Yeah, he is doing a voice, and it's the same voice he used for Spider-Verse. And I think he was just like, yeah, 40s detective. This is what you sound like. But what's interesting is, and I love Nicolas Cage as an actor, but he does not disappear into characters. No. I'd say maybe with the exception of Adaptation, which is one of the best things the guy ever did, where he really was someone other than a Nicolas Cage character. But so when he's doing Bogey, it's like California Bogey, because it's that mix of Nicolas Cage, and then but also with a little bit of Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, he's doing that.
That is okay. It sounds more like Jimmy Stewart to me, but without the stuttering, because he's like going. After Ruby died,
well, he's also playing.
I didn't want the responsibility.
I'm tired, old guy.
Yeah,
I'm kind of tired, old California bogey.
So great power can suck it. I guess that sounds more like Sean Connery.
Yeah, great power can suck it would be another good T-shirt. I love it. Great power can suck it. Yeah. And no one's going to understand what the hell that means. But I do like that a lot. Yes, I just got to say, there are some things that come out where you're skeptical because you just go, what? Like Andor, where you're like, why does this exist? And then it is so much better than it needed to be. And Spider-Noir, like the reviews have been insane. No, I mean and rightfully so. It's great.
It's
and I'm like, there's no reason this should have been made, but it shouldn't have been this good either. But it really is. So way to go, guys! And that's Sony going. Yes, we'll never let go of Spider-Man. He's ours forever. Ha ha ha.
And I guess was he called Spider-Noir in the movies or Spider-Man Noir, or just Spider-Man?
I think they just called him Spider-Man. They didn't call him the Spider.
Yeah.
But he's listed as Spider-Noir, not Spider-Man Noir. I think he's listed as Spider-Noir, though I don't remember any characters going, hey, Spider-Noir. Yeah.
Yeah. So was that line, that opening thing says, somebody once asked me.
Yeah, what universe?
What universe is this? Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't know what to tell him. He basically says, the only one I've ever known.
Is that a direct quote from Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
Or Into the Spider-Verse?
Or maybe. But it is a great way to sum that up, because the rest of the series, apparently, because I haven't finished it yet, I really want to binge. But basically, they never bring up Spider-Verse at all. That one line at the very beginning is basically him like, this is after that happened. And he, they don't even do apparently like a one-off line of like, I had a really crazy adventure once. It was like that kind of, no, they just
That's
don't.
better. They don't, I think. Just
I think it is because we don't need that. We know we're in his world, and now we're seeing what his life is like. Just like if they decided to do a Penny Parker, where it's the girl in her spider mecha, that kind of thing. It's like, you don't need to rehash just what's her world. Okay, great. I like alternate universes simply because they sit there going, it doesn't matter what they do, because it sounds really hokey, because the real guys are still fine. They're doing just fine. It's like, that doesn't override or overtake. That's one of the things, in DC Comics now, they're doing pretty well comics wise, but the big sellers for them are the Absolute comics that they've been doing for a while. Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman are huge sellers, which has me a little nervous simply because they are radical reinterpretations that I'm not really a huge fan of. Some of it's okay. But I sit there going like, I'm afraid they go, these are our money makers, so we don't need to keep doing those anymore. This is your new this is your new Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. And if that's true, I'd be like, oh, I'm out. But people love them. And I sit there going, all right, kids, enjoy your alternate universe takes, because they're still producing classic Superman stories. And I can accept that. So I'm like, all right, enjoy Batman with a huge axe. Enjoy. That's your thing. Go and just eat it up. Wonder Woman being this hulking, massive Amazonian, take no shit kind of. I'm like, great, guys. You like that? There you go. But that's the thing, is that these characters are essentially immortal. I mean, I can't see at some point, even if, let's say, DC goes under, someone will buy them up and continue to make that stuff. Or let's say obviously with all the copyrights and trademarks that are, because Batman will be in the public domain soon, or at least early Batman. Same with Wonder Woman will follow, and people will be able to do their own versions based on the free stuff, the stuff they can get away with. These characters will be bent and reconfigured for the rest of time. They will, but there's a core to them that I think won't go away and shouldn't. I mean, Homelander, people are going, yeah, that's a realistic Superman. I'm like, no, it's a dark take on it. The firemen agree. Sorry,
as usual.
Yeah, I know. Every time it's like, guys, I swear to God, I'm not living in a hellhole, but the sirens constantly by my window. Anyway, so yes, I don't know where I was going with all that. I was just basically saying, like, good, we can enjoy our Spider-Noir and not worry about whether or not Peter Parker is where's Pete? Is he okay?
Yeah.
That was my Aunt May impression. Where's Pete? Is he okay? I made him some wheat cakes. I need my medicine. Oh. And just falls over.
So I'm hesitant to ask.
Oh.
But you pretty much already told me Mandalorian Grogu was kind of okay.
You haven't seen it?
No. I'm probably not going to spend money on it, honestly.
And that's okay. It's fine. It is what everyone said. I was entertained. It is like, literally, it feels like a couple episodes, because there's even a natural like division between two halves of the movie. There's a part where it feels like it wrapped up, and I'm like, wait, we got more, right?
I heard that.
Then the second half, you're like, oh, okay. Which still, ties in, but you're like, you could literally put in a to be continued or that sort of thing.
Apparently it literally was season 4 that the studio said.
I've seen people push back and go, no, that's not it. And I'm like,
yeah,
it feels like it. Some of the action sequences are great. Man, I really like the scene where that big old slug man. That big old slug man's playing with the little elf puppet. It was so good. There is a scene where Rada the Hutt and Grogu, this is not spoiling anything, they're just playing like on the beach at the surf, because Rada is not at all like his father. He's like a nice guy.
Yeah.
And it's just freaking adorable. You're like, Jesus, that makes my heart swell. And then I also realized I've been eating terribly, and what's making my heart swell is DiGiorno's frozen pizza. No, so the whole thing is that it's fine. It doesn't blow you away. And plus, I will also say there's the superheroification of the Mandalorian. They have to always raise stakes, especially if they're making a movie. The problem with these things where they do a side character, Mandalorian is a side character to the Skywalker saga. But if you make them so freaking awesome, you're like going, did they need Luke? Because Mando takes out like 3 AT-AT walkers within the first 10 minutes of the movie by himself. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But anyway.
It was kind of true in the original stuff too, because, you know, Han was an amazing pilot.
Yes.
Wedge was an amazing pilot, you know.
Yes.
So,
yes, that's true. But
Poe Dameron was an amazing pilot. Yeah. So
he turned off his targeting computer. I don't know if you remember that, but he turned off his targeting computer. It is delightful. What Jerry and I both came to the conclusion, because we went with our mutual friend Jerry, is essentially there is a bad, even for longtime fans, there's the curse of a Star Wars movie has to be mind-blowing. It has to make more money than God, or else they consider it a failure. And we both walked out of it going like, oh, that was fun. Is that wrong to go to a Star Wars themed movie and go, that wasn't the best thing I ever saw, but I enjoyed watching it? I think they put so much pressure on it because it's that huge IP that anytime it goes to theaters, and yes, it's the first Star Wars movie in years, but still I'm like, it's acceptable to go and just watch Mando and Grogu do some stuff.
Sure. I think it's probably going to go down in history as that, basically what you're saying. I think the reason why a lot of people are, as you know, a lot of people are frustrated just because right now we don't know where Star Wars is going. We haven't really been told. What's the plan, you guys? You know, it seems like they just don't have any idea. I think Dave Filoni has hinted that he has a plan, but it's not going to be announced anytime soon. So they're going to wait for this movie to run its course before, and possibly even Starfighter too, the next movie that's coming out next year.
Yes. I hadn't even thought about it. I hope that there haven't been any leaks other than that one picture of him like leaning up and going like, hey, I'm doing a movie.
Yeah. All we know, I think, is that it's another, you know, somebody protecting a force sensitive child thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, here we go again. So I'm hoping it's not just Mandalorian redressed, but we'll see what's going on.
I have a question, just real quick, throwing this out there. Did Order 66 kill anybody?
I know.
Because I know that for the longest time, it's like, all right, Yoda and the twins, they're the ones that survived. And for a long time, that was it. Then it's like, oh, well, I mean, Ahsoka, yeah, she wasn't technically a Jedi because she quit the Order, but she's still out there. Okay. Now it seems like the 80 million, you run into people going like, oh yeah, when the stormtroopers came, I ducked.
Yeah.
Oh, because there seemed to be really plenty of Jedi around, just hiding out, and they only had to wait like 18 or 19 years, and then the Empire was overthrown. Yay! Anyway, so it's fine. Go or just wait for streaming, and you'll be fine. Because again, other than you'll notice like, wow, the scale of some of these fights are bigger than the TV show, but the writing, actually, there's some very kind of dumbed down writing. It's not a bad, but there's a little bit like they're like, well, we really do want kids to be able to embrace it. So I'm like, yeah, some of those episodes of the show hit hard, like dramatically. And I was like watching the movie going like, yeah, it seems a little kind of like we have to go here and do this. Okay. Is there any kind of shading to this? And nope. But also, I got to say, cool to see Sigourney Weaver in an X-Wing. Something I've dreamed of since I was a child.
Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about a movie that I've sort of seen that you haven't seen.
Yes.
I've been tremendously fascinated. Huh?
Did you finish the movie?
Did I finish?
Did you finish watching it? Because you were like, I'm in the middle of watching this thing. And
so I had already watched it when I talked to you.
Okay.
I just didn't watch. There are some parts in the beginning I was fast forwarding over because I have to explain it to the people. I've been tremendously fascinated and curious about Backrooms, which is this new horror movie that's come out, which many of you I'm sure have already heard about. And I just happened to poke it. I was watching every video I could find about it. I watched all of the Kane Parsons, the original YouTube series of films that he put out over the past several years. I watched most of those leading up to that. And then at some point last night, YouTube just shows me, here's the whole movie. Somebody uploaded that they filmed on their phone in a theater. And I was like,
Listen,
okay, so I was so hungry to see it by this point.
I wanna be very clear. We do not condone piracy.
No.
Famously, piracy has led to a lot of bad things in the world. Captain Phillips, or I could say good things. Captain Phillips, and then also the Phantom. Let's not forget that pirates were what created the Phantom. That's why the Walker family became the Ghost Who Walks. Their entire mission was to destroy piracy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There you go. All the way back from 1931 or whatever the hell. So there's that. But yeah, we don't condone it. But sometimes you stumble across things like Chad did, and he couldn't resist. I could not resist. And he will give money to the film.
I am. As soon as I can afford it, I'm going to go see this thing.
Yeah.
And because from what I've heard, it is performing incredibly well in cinemas, like packed. Like it's hard, like people having trouble finding good seats. There have been a couple of movies lately that are
low budget, not necessarily, starless, but low budget films by new filmmakers that have done really well. There's Obsessed, or is it Obsession? I think it may be Obsession, which is a thriller was made for no money, and it's made crazy money at the theaters. And Backrooms is doing the same thing, and everyone's going like, yay. Mm-hmm. That's good. It's a very good thing for Hollywood to realize, as long as something's, intriguing, is you got a good story and decent actors, decent direction, put those in theaters, man. Because IP, I'm never going to complain when IP is, because I'm a nerd. I'm like, yay, a new movie featuring characters I love and a universe I love. But I really like movies that are completely original. How about that? How about a movie that just blows you out of the water and you go, damn, so glad I saw it. So you liked Backrooms is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I thought it was, I'd heard really good things about it. And a lot of people are divided on it because it is a very strange movie. Mm-hmm. And number one, it's a horror movie. Not everybody goes for this kind of horror. It's like psychological horror. It's more like The Shining than it is like a slasher film,
Yeah. And
there is some gore in it, but it's like it's not, they kind of cut away from it most of the time. Like it's usually like there's a little bit of it, then you see like other people reacting to it instead of actually just focusing on it,
If there are no eyes popping out of skulls, I'm not watching it. I mean, why would I go see a movie?
And there is body horror, but it's not what you might think. It's really interesting. And
someone is going, oh God, I got a second elbow. Is that what it is?
sort of.
Okay.
No, but it's not happening to people. I can't really explain it. You have to see it.
Just stop right there.
But it is the concept is, which I think some people may be familiar with it, because I didn't know anything about this until I saw the trailer. The trailer just popped up on Instagram or something like last week. And I didn't recognize it.
I had seen it, like the teaser. I don't know if it was it wasn't at a movie theater. It was literally just online like months ago. Yeah. So, I mean, I knew of it. I didn't know it had been released till I started seeing things like, it's making $1 billion. I'm like,
I think it came out last week. Anyway, but I recognize the actor, Chiwetel. I don't know how to say his name, but I recognized him from he played Mordo in the first Doctor Strange movie, and he was in the Man of Earth show.
I love everything the man has ever been in. He's so damn good.
He's really good. So, and he's great in this. And but then I went down the rabbit hole of learning about where the Backrooms came from and how it grew out of this 4chan, what they call creepypasta, which are these horror memes that get shared and grow in the sort of this open source horror story type of thing. And so the whole concept of Backrooms is not something that Kane Parsons came up with, but he, of all the people who've made movies on the internet, I've watched a lot of them. His are the best, at least they're best directed, best written. There's some really good ones out there. They even did one on American Horror Story, which was not anything like the YouTube versions of it. But it's a really interesting concept where there's this alternate universe, kind of very similar to Stranger Things, where you have the upside down.
Yeah, right.
Where it seems to be
literally like between spaces, right? Yeah. Like in the backs of. That's the whole idea. Is like when you work in a mall, as I did for a little bit when I worked at the Apple Store. If you've never worked in a mall kind of space, when you go out the back doors of your store, there's literally like connecting hallways where it's like, oh, hey guys from the bookstore, oh, hey guys from the frozen yogurt place. So the idea of the back rooms, but then it gets surreal, right? As in it just keeps going, and there's
weirder and weirder
and weirder.
Yeah.
People, I mean, I think it's just because of also the genius of there. I mean, it does get weirder, but it does start out as like empty corporate spaces, you know, like the lighting and all that sort of thing that a lot of people have, they immediately knee jerked like, oh yeah, like Severance. I'm like, I mean, there's a little bit of that in there, right?
Visually, yeah. And Severance apparently did take some inspiration from Backrooms.
There you
go. But it's really only visually, because
right.
Severance, you know, it's not in another universe. It's just in a basement.
Yeah.
Backrooms is literally like another dimension or something. But shit, where was I going with that?
I don't know. You liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Cast was good. It's really weird. What else were we gonna say?
God damn it! I lost my train of thought, as I often do on the show.
It's sad when we're old. We can keep going around until we hit there again. I do want to see it really badly because, again, it sounded intriguing from when I saw the teaser, and I was like, oh, and I love that guy. I will definitely watch that. There's all kinds of stuff that, sadly, you know, going to theaters, the whole theater experience it's suffering, but you know, it's also just so crazy expensive. That's the problem. So I'm sitting there going like, yep, I would do that one. I know you're not the same, but I'm jazzed for Masters of the Universe. I really want to see, and the advanced reviews have actually been really good on that.
Pretty good, yeah.
I'm like,
I just remember I was going to say, one of the things it reminded me of is something that you also experienced. Remember that first rehearsal space that we shared when Susan's Pedals was first starting off? In that place that was right across the street from Prince's Hamburgers?
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
That weird room. And it was just that one rehearsal room, and there was another one down the hall, and the rest of it was just this empty office space.
Yeah.
Which was so dark weird and creepy and weird.
Yeah. Exactly. That's because you're like, is no one else going to ever put anything in here? It's just this.
So I remember us wandering around in the different rooms and trying to figure out what it used to be. And it looked like it might have been a training school or something like that.
That's right.
All the stuff that was just abandoned. And
there were
some
stuff
rooms
that just
had electricity and some didn't.
Yeah. And stuff that's just left. Also reminds me of anytime you go to a storage, like a self-storage kind of place, where if you're the only person there and it's just halls, and they have the timer, like the lights on a timer, and it's like sometimes the lights will cut off when you're halfway through because you didn't do the timer enough, and you're like in the dark, and it's like, man, empty spaces like that where it's like no one's here. Did anyone ever, exist here? Did anyone ever do anything here? Am I the only person who's ever walked down this thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that stuff is nice and creepy.
Yeah,
nice and creepy.
I haven't thought about that rehearsal space in so long. It was Fowl's Warehouse Sales is what it was called at the time.
Yeah.
The building's still there. It's something else now. It's not the same thing. There's something else. There's some like legitimate business there now. But as I recall, there was only two.
Great memory.
I only remember two rehearsal spaces. There was ours, and down the hallway, it was Chiaroscuro, is where they rehearsed. Do you remember that band?
That's right. Yes.
That's all I remember. There's those two rooms.
And then we were out downtown grounds, the warehouse, and King's X next door. Nice guys.
Yeah, Starrett Street. Starrett Street's still there as far as I'm aware.
Oh, really?
Blackguards rehearsed there for a long. We shared a space with Moses Guest for a couple of years, but that was a long time ago.
Long time ago, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to see it, and I don't condone your piracy. That's it. That's the end.
I don't either.
Okay. But you are encouraging people.
It's not my piracy.
You are encouraging people to spend the money if you got it.
Yes.
To go see the movie, because that guy needs your help. Actually, he doesn't, because even before he made that movie, I read somewhere he's like the son of the guy who heads Rockstar Games or something. So in other words, he's a rich kid who is making movies. Yeah. And hey,
this was a really bad bootleg too, by the way. It was like somebody filming on their phone, and it was moving, and occasionally you hear somebody go, the fuck? In response to things happening on the screen.
but no one having severe intestinal problems.
No, thankfully, yeah. No, you could hear the rustling of popcorn bags and things like that. But yeah,
the real movie theater experience at home. Anyway, I want to check it out. I have nothing else really to report on because again, I'm pretty far behind. The only other thing I will say, and I do recommend this is a Brendan recommending, and you probably have heard of it. I don't know if do you have Apple TV? I know you.
I do. I was going to say I watched. That's what I watched. SPIDER-NOIR on was the Prime Video app where the switching thing worked fine.
Nice. So, on Apple TV, I strongly recommend Widow's Bay, which is now like it's only 10 episodes. But I think the 7th one is the most recent, so it's nearly done. It's just one of the best TV shows ever.
Widow's Bay.
Okay. Widow's Bay. It stars Matthew Rhys, who played Perry Mason in the HBO Perry Mason series, amazing, which was really amazing, and I miss it. He's a great British or Irish actor guy who does really good American. And it's basically you start it and you're like, okay, this is another parody of like Stephen King novels. Because the whole thing is set modern day in a little New Hampshire. Sorry again, the cops. There they are. There they are. Sorry, guys. I got to go. They caught me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have pirated Backrooms. Anyway, so the whole thing is it's on this little island, New England island, and which is... he's the mayor and he's trying to boost tourism, but it seems that the place is haunted and cursed by a lot of different kind of things. And there's a comedy tone to it that you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then episode to episode, they keep doing different like legends or a ghost or a thing or whatever, but it keeps getting darker and darker and darker. And they keep balancing it so well. This amazing cast. Stephen Root's in it. You know Stephen Root. He's always reliable. And he's the local guy who's kind of I told you this place was doomed. He's like that character. He's like going, I know all about the legends. And basically the mayor's like going, yeah, could you keep it to yourself? I'm just trying to get people to come to the island and all this kind of stuff. So I'm actually doing a really bad job of describing how good it is. It's just amazing. I thought, okay, they're doing that nostalgia thing. It even has a font similar to the way Stranger Things totally nailed the Stephen King type font from the 80s. Yeah. Widow's Bay's got like a 70s horror paperback font that I'm like, oh my God, I know that exact font. And it's funny and it's terrifying and occasionally very moving. And I'm like, wow, they put all this in there. I agree. John agrees. Robin agrees. And the world, it's doing really well ratings wise. So do yourself a favor.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Watch Widow's Bay.
Along those lines ish, I watched. Ready? This has been out for ages, but I heard about it, but I just never watched it. My mom talked about it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to check this out because it has can't remember his name now. The guy who played young Uncle Ben in the Star Wars movies.
Oh, yes,
in the prequels and also in the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
Daniel. Anyway.
He didn't play him in Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
It's the same actor.
Yeah, he did. I keep
same
forgetting.
Actor, same actress.
That's right. That's right.
Aunt Beru, same actress.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he's in the show called Dark Matter. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of it.
It's on Apple TV. Yeah. It's a science fiction show. It has Jennifer Connelly and the guy's name I
have no problem with that. That's okay.
And some other actors I recognize. I don't remember the name. I think there's one guy. I think he was in that Dream movie that Nolan made. Inception.
Are you having?
I think he was in Inception.
Are you having a psychotic break right now?
I was trying to remember.
He was in Inception. Nolan.
I think he was in Inception. I think. Anyway, it's actually pretty good. It's an interesting concept.
I think Apple TV. It's still. I mean, Paramount Plus has had a couple of big hits. Apple TV always seems to be the one that's very subtly releasing really good stuff. I mean, obviously Severance was a huge hit. You know, it's like, okay, that's them. But they still seem to be the one people go, oh yeah, And yeah,
right.
Dark Matter did fly under my radar. I was aware of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I'm not afraid.
My mom apparently season 2 is fixing to come out. I think either later this year or next year or something. So that got my mom went and I think rewatched the last few episodes.
But when
of the
Ted
last
Lasso season 4 comes out, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not watching anything but that. I'm just watching me some Ted Lasso. It's what I need in my life.
I'm really fascinated because they seem like they were done with season 3. But
I saw the teaser. I mean, they just did a teaser basically of him kind of just walking around. It wasn't like anything where you get any plot, but I did kind of thought the series wrapped up really well, and they said we're kind of done. So I'm like, I hope they came back because they had a great idea, and I hope it's not because Apple TV said, "Here is a small continent."
Yeah.
What can we get? Here are gold bricks that we are going to build a house out of for you. I hope it's not money. I hope it is inspiration. I think I trust them, but yeah, I loved the show. I mean, like everybody else, I was surprised at how much I loved that show. But it was also the pandemic. Now I'm a cynic again. I don't need that shit. No, I'm looking forward to it. Yes, Apple TV, Dark Matter, and you're giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
No.
There are. It was a lot better than I thought it would be because I figured if this was good, I would have heard more people talking about it. But I think they just haven't.
It's on the edge of being. It's like, yeah, there's some good stuff here, but it doesn't blow you away.
It was engaging enough that I did binge through the whole. Not binge. I watched it over a period of a few days. It's I think nine episodes in the season. And my only problem with it really is just there's some character motivations that are more convenient than sensible. You're like, nobody would do that.
Yeah.
But I forgive it because the premise and the story and the characters are so engaging.
There's some shows. Did you ever watch Fringe back in the day?
I don't think so, no.
That was one that I avoided for a long time because I was like, and had the guy from Dawson's Creek in it. I'm like, okay, there's Pacey, yay, he's in a thing. And then like season 3, people were going, you don't understand, it's like this ideal sci-fi nerdery and very comic booky. You'll really dig it. And then I started on it. It's one of those things like, I'm glad maybe it was sci-fi that did it, but that they gave it more time. That's always a problem. It's like first seasons are almost a little rocky. And I watched a few episodes. I'm like, yeah, there's some interesting stuff here. It's kind of like, government investigators looking into, a little X-Files-y. And, there are men in black who kind of follow them around and are mysterious watchers and all this. I'm like, okay. And before long, it's like you realize that the entire thing was about alternate universes. And eventually they're actually going back. And it was like, I didn't expect it to go there. And they do it really well. The actors are really good. Anna Torv, amazing. And it just kept getting better. So I was like, yeah, I think a lot of people slept on that one. Though by the time it wrapped up, I think it got like 5 or 6 seasons. It was a solid show.
This is an alternate universe story as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to play multiple versions of yourself?
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Man, again, alternate universe me, no goatee, because it's always the flip. No goatee, and I'm probably extremely wealthy. I want to meet alternate universe me.
I do think that whether it was intentional or not, I think it had to have been at least a subconscious borrow that season 2 of Peacemaker, which has, at the end of this season has a lot of opening doors and finding dangerous universes behind the doors. There's doors, and the motif in Dark Matter is doors you open to other universes.
But that makes sense.
With dangerous shit behind the doors. So, yeah.
One of the things I always love is, like this is rare. I mean, Twilight Zone is one of the greatest programs ever made. I've got the Blu-ray box set of all of Twilight Zone. And the stuff at the beginning, and this is in the 50s, where it's like a star field, and it's like there's an eye, and there's a clock, and big door, and then the door opens, and you're like, all that stuff is like,
Yeah.
I love I like science fiction, but I like hard science fiction, and I like science fantasy, like Star Wars, where it's like, come on, guys, we're not, the ships are roaring through space, so let's not even get into anything that's scientific. But I also just like the sort of like psychological science fiction stuff, which you're talking about. Backrooms is probably something like that, where it's not about, an alien race has created an alternate universe for you to go. It's just like, this is something that you're going to have to wrap your brain around, and maybe there's no answers, and you just go, wow. And in the case of Twilight Zone, it's all done through morality tales anyway, but you're going, God damn, just the imagination on display.
And it making me think too, the thing I pegged when I watched some of Kane Parsons' stuff on YouTube is that this really reminds me of a couple of things. Gaming's where he did admit this in an interview, several interviews I watched, that Portal, Valve's Portal games,
which I never played, but yeah, I'm aware of it.
Great games that heavily inspired his storytelling.
The cake
style
is a lot.
And but he sort of sheepishly admits that there's like cryptic messages written on walls left behind by mysterious people.
Again, he's the son of a game developer. It's not surprising that he's
I didn't know that until you mentioned that. It's cool.
So, but he has talent. I mean, I'm never against people who the Nepo baby thing. I'm like, forget it. If you have talent, you should be in the whatever. Now, if you got the step up because you grew up with money or you had connections, that's, something that a lot of us will go, oh, darn it. But if you've got the talent, stay. I got no problem with fourth generation acting dynasty. And you go, but look, the chops are there. The chops are still there. So I'm not going to complain. Yeah. So Rich Boy made himself a movie. That's all I'm saying. But he made a cheap movie and it's making crazy money.
Making silly money. Yeah. Which again, like we said, this is really good.
Do you think they're going to put out like Backrooms, like action figures and shit?
That'd be cool.
You'd buy them. I bet there will be Funko Pops, because there's Funko Pops of everything. There's probably a Funko Pop of you and your bandmates.
Yeah.
Damn.
In an alternate universe, like
I've got the Blaggards Funko Pops. Actually, no, sorry. My Patrick dropped on the floor, and I got to replace it. But no, there's Turbo, there's Chad, right there.
One of the fun things about Backrooms is that Kane made all these films. Like, he started making these films when he was 17. It's all CGI. He used this special effects program called what's it called?
I don't know.
Blender.
Blender. Yeah, of course.
And the first 3 times I watched it, I was like, I had no idea that it was CGI. It's just so so well done. And I guess because Blender is just a really good program, but he also knows how to use it. But it's all in canon. So like every YouTube movie he made leading up to this movie is still canon to the movie. Yeah.
Oh, man, I love an interconnected universe.
So he's not retelling the story. He's just kind of building on to what was there.
Oh.
So it's clever. So every movie that comes out doesn't have to have the same characters in it, basically.
That's cool. So obviously the Blu-ray release will have all those on there
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, the short films.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
It's cool.
Let's wrap up because I'm hungry.
Me too.
Anyway, guys, that's really, as Chad said in the text he sent me, this was a potpourri. It was a nerdery potpourri. We touched on a lot of old stuff. I always ask, and sometimes you respond, what are you guys excited about that's coming up? I mean, clearly you're watching the channel. I bet you're not too indifferent to Supergirl. But yeah, there's a lot. It's going to be a big summer, and we're excited. We will finish Spider-Noir. Maybe we'll do another episode where we catch up when we've seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's so much good stuff out there. Let us know if you hate us, if you disagree with all the things we say. Please do not send the police to Chad's because he saw Backrooms in a backhanded way. But yes, thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye, peace apps.
Bye, y'all. Thank you very much.
Make spaghetti. I'm going to make spaghetti right now. I'm going to make spaghetti.
He's going.
I'm going to make spaghetti.